Not only is Krista Suh a screenwriter, activist, and author, but she's also the creator of the PUSSYHAT, which played a huge part in raising awareness about female rights during the Women's March. Today, Krista is here to discuss her book, DIY Rules for a WTF World, as well as her many other craftivist projects. Everyone, please put your hands together for Krista Suh.
Damn!
I love it.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that makes me happy.
Yeah.
Eve, you look beautiful.
Thank you.
I
A lot
love
of people
it.
like poison ivy, right? I'm like, no.
There's an apple.
Oh, I literally just was about to be like, I love your poison ivy.
I am gonna reuse it as a poison ivy.
But describe your costume, because it has to do with your whole campaign.
It does, yeah. So I'm doing a What Would Eve Do campaign for the vote on November 6th. Because I really want especially women to go out and get the vote, because there's so much that we could like reclaim in this midterm election, I think.
Hell yeah.
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 And also like snakes are really sexy, and we got the apple, and she took the first bite, you know? So
Yeah,
I
she
just
did.
feel like we gotta vote. Eve would totally vote. She took a bite of knowledge. She would totally vote as well. So anyway, I brought these for you guys.
Thank
I
you.
made them.
So these are hats, so they're just like kind of
love these.
vamped up pussy hats.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank
and they're
you so
sewn
much.
pussy hats, not like
Here.
the knit ones.
I love it.
So tell us about your book. What was your inspiration behind writing it?
I have a lot of props. I don't know. I feel like I've
Girl,
had
keep
the
bringing
most
out the
props of
props.
all
It
your
works. It's
guests.
Halloween.
Yeah. So I wrote a book called DIY Rules for a WTF World, and you know, the inspiration came because I did the Pussy Hat, and everyone was really excited about that. And I adore praise. I'm like, yes. But at the same time, I felt like this guilt inside of me, because I was like, you know, I'm really proud that I came up with the Pussy Hat, but like that doesn't make me special, actually, because I think women, I think people, we have great ideas all the time, but we don't nurture them. And I spent like 10 years as a screenwriter, like learning how to nurture my ideas instead of squelch them, right? Because how many of us like have a great idea, but we're like, no, like I can't do that, or like, you know, I don't have the experience for it. And so this is a book about how to nurture your own idea, because I think that's the next big revolution, when we actually nurture our ideas. Because that little voice that says you can't do it, that's patriarchy, so.
And what are maybe some of the quick things in the book that people can get creative to do their own activism?
Oh, I have a bunch of like exercises in the book. I think to like nurture your activism, you really have to get to know yourself and what you really care about. So one of the chapters in my book is called Throwing a Party, because I think being an activist doesn't have to look really serious and glum. It could actually be really fun, and you can make it your own. And so, in addition, like I differentiate between a host and a guest. So there's certain topics that I decide like women's rights are really important to me. I'm going to be a host of this party. But other things are also really important to me, like bees pollinating our earth, right? But I'm more of a guest at that party, you know? And that way I can like sustain my activism, because I know what I'm hosting, what I'm guesting for.
Setting priorities, really.
And the What Would Eve Do, you said a really interesting quote that said, essentially about the Adam and Eve, and what the core of it is a woman wanted something, and then when she ruined it for everyone else. And that's what people often think about women when they want something. And Secretary Clinton often speaks about that. Whenever she would run for office, everyone would turn against her, and it's just because
whenever she is ambitious and wants to get to that next level, people are like, oh my God, like you're gonna kick us out of our paradise type of thing. Yeah, so I think like literally the genesis story of the Western world is a woman wanted something and she ruined it for the rest of us, you know? And so I think whenever women want something, by the way, I totally thought they replaced you. Like,
Oh my God, you're like, where's Shannon?
Yeah, no, that was literally.
Like, who's that hot dude? I can't wait to meet him.
Yeah.
You're embodying.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was like nudging people in green room, like, that's cute.
We can make it happen.
Yeah, all right. But yeah, I think when women want something, we tend to not only get shut down by others, but shut down ourselves. And that, to me, that's a sign that, you know, the patriarchy doesn't need to assign like a 6'4" white man to like loom over me and follow me around and tell me I'm stupid. Because I already have that voice in my head, and a lot of women do. So how do we like combat that, right? So, and I do think stories are so powerful, and it's why I want to kind of like bring this old story to light and reframe it for us.
Yeah.
And that's why you're telling people to hand out apples, right? To share apples.
Yeah. And it's also to get out the Asian American vote, because I'm Asian American and we don't vote very well, like very often. So like, but fruit is a big part of our culture where we like celebrate the harvest with it. So I just think like to give someone an apple, a gift, a pussy hat, it just creates a connection and reminds us why we are a country and why we're trying to build something great together.
Absolutely.
Totally.
And you, of course, created the pussy hat, which made history at the Women's March. Can you tell us, like, how did you come up with the idea for that?
Yeah, I'm a longtime LA girl, and I just knew immediately I would go to the Women's March in DC. So I was like, what am I gonna do? I really wanted to do something really powerful and change the world, but I actually couldn't come up with anything. I was like, I could march naked, I don't know. Like, and what really actually got me to these guys were, I realized that like, you know, Krista, maybe you would march naked in LA. I don't know if you're gonna march naked in DC in January, like, you know? And so I was like, okay, I gotta wear like a real coat and stuff in the cracks of the coat with like, you know, gloves, a scarf, a hat. I thought, oh my God, I can make my own hat. And unlike being naked, this felt like it had more meaning to it. Because I could make my own protest gear with my own hands. Like, if you think about it, our American flag, made by a woman, and that's our nation's first piece of protest gear, right? So, so I decided to make this hat. And the thing is, I am a beginner knitter. Like, you would laugh at like how like me compared to like an actual knitter. And I thought, wow, like if I could make this hat, anyone could. And that was the lightning bolt moment. We came from one to like many. And I just knew like this really had legs, you know? Yeah.
What was the pacing of it though? Because you made your hat, but then how did that happen? You know?
Sorry. So change could happen super fast. My friends and I, we put the pussy hat together in 6 days. Like we designed the hat, wrote the pattern, wrote a manifesto. I called the manifesto because I wrote it. I was just like, you know, hardcore. But and then we launched the day before Thanksgiving, and that gave everyone 2 months to make our goal of 1.17 million hats, which is the number of people who fit on the National Mall. And I think that big goal was really necessary to get people excited, and also like, oh my God, those girls need help. Like, they're clearly not gonna do that on their own. They need me, they need everyone. So I think that's like really, and also knitters, but just people in general have such a giving nature, you know? And I think so many people have told me that making these hats was their first way out of grief after the election. And it's something to do with your hands. I know when I write a book or write a screenplay, it's like, I don't know, anything with a computer, frankly, like a screen, it's just like, it just kind of goes on forever sometimes. But with these, it's like, you could see your progress, like row by row. I think that was really helpful to get people back in the game, yeah.
And can you tell us about your idea, the Sea of Eyes with the evil eye gloves for March for Our Lives?
Oh yeah, I wish I wore them too, but I just would be totally kitted out. Like, I had a dream about people coming together with eyes drawn on their hands, and it's like how we can watch out for each other and also keep our eyes on Congress. And so that actually happened where like thousands of knitters made them. So like, because originally I thought, I guess we could draw them, but I was like, wait a second, Pussy Hat came from knitting and crochet, and we could do this with the eyes too. So I was waiting for the right moment to launch them, and when the March for Our Lives happened, organized by the Parkland students, I was like, this is it, you know?
Wow, I love that.
Thanks.
And where can people get these?
Oh my gosh, well, I actually like designed the fabric, so you can get the fabric, order the fabric in anything. This is fleece, but you can make it in denim and chiffon and anything. And that's on my website, KristaSuh.com, yeah.
KristaSuh.com. Make sure you guys go get it. Krista, thank you for joining us so much.
Thank you so much.
This is amazing.